Hello! So, Camilla here, as you can see. I am going to bring you a class today. It's going to be medium to high intensity, but with a lot of options. So, I'll give you the kind of basic moves and the muscle movements that you need to be focusing on, and then a couple of options to either make them easier or we can make them more difficult if you want to challenge yourself. It's going to be full body, including core. For some of you, would be thrilled. As you can see, I'm at home, so it will hopefully give you some ideas of how to use smaller spaces to get a workout done during this traumatic time. I am probably going to put some audio over the top for you so that you can follow along. So I'll be doing the workout with you. And then I'll put some clear instructions for you, and feel free to comment, message us if you have any questions. I've personally got a couple of weights here, just simple dumbbells, but if you want to grab yourself, I've also got 2 cans of beans, and maybe if you've got paint in the house, you could use paint tins held by the handle, or as Chris has shown before, a rucksack with some kind of weighted objects inside. The other thing is, if you do happen to have resistance bands, there's a couple of additions that you can make to exercises to kind of use the bands for your resistance, so I'll mention that where appropriate. But otherwise, you just need yourself, a little bit of space, and we'll get going. So we'll start off with some stretching. So you've most likely done this one before. You're going to be lying on your side with your knees at a 90-degree angle, aligned with your hands and your arms, which you're then going to trace an arc above your head and then return to the starting position. Repeat 5 on each side if you can. And if you're feeling any particular stiffness, you can open and hold in the open part of the stretch 20-30 seconds or so, and then repeat on the other side. Again, you are most likely familiar with this one. You are going to come into a deep lunge, so just watch your knees, add some extra support underneath that back knee if you need to, and then place your hands on the inside of the front foot, and you're going to push your pelvis into the stretch. Feel it just working the front of the back thigh, which is your hip flexor. So again, about 30 seconds on each side should be perfect. You're going to sit down, pop the soles of your feet together, hands around your ankles, and then you're just going to gently push your knees towards the floor with your elbows. If that feels weird, then you can always lean your upper body forward just slightly. You should feel a stretch in the inner groin. just keep holding that. If you can breathe nice and deeply throughout, that will help you or aid the stretch. And then we'll slowly come up. Finish. So you're going to come back onto your heels so your bum's sitting. Your arms are going to reach out in front of you and just bow down towards the floor, but really focus on pushing through the shoulder towards the floor. So for your lunge, you're going to take one of your legs backwards, bend at the knee and travel down towards the floor, lightly touching each knee on the floor as you go, if that feels comfortable for you. So just keep alternating. If you want a bit more of a challenge or you want to focus more on your bum, then take your leg behind and to the side and then really sit into your glutes, so your big muscle in your backside, as you travel towards the floor, and again alternate each leg for the 30 seconds. And walk out, yay! So stand nice and tall to start with. You're then going to either keep your legs straight or bend your knees and walk out into a plank just for a second, and then return to standing, stand up tall. So let's get going. Going back into that lunge, take it steady on each foot. Find your place behind you and then send that knee down towards the floor. Keep your core nice and tight, it will help you balance. Try and breathe in on the way down and out on the way up if you can. Keep going and relax. It's just a short break. If you get yourself ready, standing nice and tall, and let's go with the walkouts. So walk it out nice and slowly. Keep your breathing consistent throughout. You will avoid dizziness best that way. Down into the plank, where you want a nice straight line from the top of your head to your heels. Don't dip your hips if you can avoid it, and then return to the top. And we're going again back into the lunges. I'll show you from a different angle this time. So if you can do one full movement where your foot goes back, goes straight down, that's perfect. But if you need to, steady yourself first and then lower that knee. And relax, take your 15 seconds, shake out your muscles and then stand up nice and tall for your walkouts. Just a few more seconds left. Well done. And let's go. You are coming up to the end of this set and the end of this round. Relax.
pause the video for a second and we'll move on to our second superset.
So you're going to be working your opposite muscles, and it also is pretty good because it means you don't really need to take a full period of rest, as when one muscle's working, the other one's having a little rest. So it can be a great time saver. I'm going to use tin cans. So what we're going to do first is a bicep curl into a shoulder press. If you have an issue with either one of those, take them out. So for example, you could just keep it as a bicep curl. You're going to grip your weights. Your hands are going to stay strapped to your sides, none of this flapping. And you're just going to curl the weight up towards the shoulder, as controlled as you can. So you want it all in the front of your upper arm. We don't want to see what boys do at the gym, sorry for this, and swing the weight up nice and controlled. We're going to pair it with a shoulder press, so same movement. So it's going to look like this. You're curling up, pressing, and back down. So you're curling up, pressing, back down. Again, if you have an issue with bicep curls but you're happy with the overhead press, then by all means grab your cans, shoulder height, and you can just press as you normally would with a pair of dumbbells. Secondly, we're going to do the back of your arm. So grab your cans again, bit like a scroll crusher. So upper arm stays completely still. You're bending at the elbow, bringing the weights down and pushing up. Sound good? So create that bridge with your legs and then keep your back nice and close to the chair, dip down and push up. So then you'll be working with your whole body weight essentially. So if you fancy a challenge and you're confident, then by all means grab a chair. Otherwise, stick to the first one because we don't want any injuries.
So as we showed you before, you're just going to curl those weights up, little twist, and then push up above your head. Keep it nice and slow. Keep your elbows in, and if you can, keep your core really tight just to maintain that perfectly straight spine. So your break's almost up, just a few more seconds, and pop those weights right up above your head. Remember, the upper arm stays completely still and you're just bending at the elbow. Try and get a full range of movement if you can, or just see what you can manage with the weight you have. So stay focused. Again, you want to stay nice and sturdy with where your body's placed so that you can concentrate on those triceps and relax. Get ready, we're going in again. Same thing as last time, starting with your curl and press. And relax. Just use those 15 seconds to rearrange yourself. Stand up, remember your arms fully extended with your weights. If you're doing extensions, I'll show you the dip this time round. So bum and back nice and close to your chair, and then you're basically mimicking that motion, but this time working with your body weight. So push up through the back of your arms until your arms are extended, and then lower yourself down and keep on working. And that is you done on your second superset. Good news. We're going to move on to the third with a bit of lower body.
Perfect. I'm sweating a lot, hopefully you are too. We're gonna move it down to the lower body for the next one. We're gonna do some squats. That will pretty much hit all of your legs, but also quite a lot in your quads. And then we're gonna do some Romanian deadlifts. So you are gonna need something heavy. The rucksack idea is really good. You could also use 2 carrier bags full of tins or books or whatever you've got lying around for the deadlifts. Squats, you are more than welcome to do body weight if that's what suits you. Yeah, so just something heavy. I'm just joking, don't do that. Your feet hip width apart. You're going to be sending your hips backwards in the sitting motion. Knees are going to stay wide, heels are going to stay on the floor. Chest up, core tight. So, look back and squeeze your glutes at the top. So
you can, if you've got a resistance band, tie it around the middle of your thigh if you think that might help add some resistance if you don't have weights. Next up, the Romanian deadlift. So you are pushing those weights down the front of your leg, keep them close, knees wide, and then push your bum out backwards till you feel a stretch in your hamstrings. Right, if you just have 20 seconds or so just to get yourself ready, we are going to start with the squats again. So either grab a couple of weights, a weight, or just yourself, and we'll get going in 3, 2, and 1. So remember, your knees are going to push out wide. Mine are caving in a little bit there, don't do that. Keep those heels completely rooted to the floor, so it's all in that hip hinge into that sitting position. Well done, keep going. Squeeze those glutes at the top and relax. And into your Romanian deadlifts. So remember, weights stay nice and close to the front of your body, almost like you're kind of shaving them down just below the knee. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings and then return to standing. Squeeze your glutes. And relax, take your 30-second break, a bit longer this time. We're almost ready. You're going back into squats, and let's go. If you can, breathe in on the way down, out on the way up. It will help you, but if it's distracting, then not to worry too much, just keep breathing. Well done. Big squeeze at the top. Relax, it's your final 15-second break, and then you've got one more push with your Romanian deadlifts, and then we'll move on to our next set. So get yourself ready, grab your weights, and let's go. So we are going to do a sit-up with a little touch under the thigh. So you're going to be stretched out like a pencil, so your arms and legs extended. You're going to reach up to that crunch point and then tap underneath each thigh as I'm demonstrating. If that's a bit too tricky, lie back, pop your knees up, and then you're going to be in the same position, just curling up and reaching to the top of your knee, pausing for just a second and then releasing back down. Side planks are not the easiest in the world, so please do give them a go if you can. So find a nice position on your knees bent, and then you're going to prop up your hips from the floor, and I'm showing you here on your toes as well. So you're just going to hold on that side, squeeze, push your hips up to maintain that diagonal line, and then the second set will swap sides. So let's get started with some sit-ups. 30 seconds, lie back, and let's go. You're almost there. Keep pushing all the way to the end. I'll let you know when you can break. Just a couple of seconds and relax. Well done. You've got 15 seconds, so just swivel over onto your side. Gonna find your knees in a comfortable position. Forearm goes flat on the floor and push up. Let's go. If you can only manage 15 seconds, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to be timing for 30, so you have a range of difficulty there. And relax you'll be pleased to know. Have a 30-second break this time, just regroup, have some water and get ready. We're going straight back into sit-ups in just a few seconds. And lie back and let's go. This time I'm demoing the slightly simpler version where you're just reaching backwards, finding that crunch as you reach up and touch the top of your knees. If you can hang there for just a moment, perfect. If not, just make sure you're not using the momentum to swing up and down. And relax. Well done. It's just 15 seconds. So shuffle over onto your other side, so not the side you were planking on last time, and get yourself ready to push up into position on your knees or toes. And let's go. If it helps, extend your upper arm sort of directly upwards. You can imagine there's a kind of chain holding you up, which helps some people. Otherwise, hand on your hips is fine as long as you're driving those hips up towards the ceiling just to keep that line nice and straight. And that's it. So that's 4 supersets for you, targeting the whole body. You can add an extra set onto each of them. You can take the exercises, you can work for longer, rest for shorter. It's really flexible and kind of there for you to play around with. But well done, and do stay tuned for more of our videos, both in and out of the gym. Hope you're all well and enjoy.